Oh, man. Hey, good morning. How are you? Oak Vlogs, how are you doing? How are you doing? What's up this morning? Where are you coming in from? What time is it? Say hi. I'm saying hi. Hey, good morning. Oh, you're hungry. Of course, that's when the cravings start, right? Woo, man. Good to see you this morning. How are y'all this morning? Where are y'all coming in from? I am Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Good to see you guys this morning. Where are y'all coming in from? Where you guys call home, what is the weather like? We are 20 degrees. It is just now coming up on 5 a.m. in the city of Anchorage, Alaska. We are up here, right, I live just like 20 minutes from, I don't know, that in 5 minutes from the ocean up here. It's always, I forget sometimes that we're here. All right, man. How Texas? It is 8 o'clock. Yes, sir. That is Central Time. Yeah, you or no? Yeah, you're Central. Central. Where in Texas are you? That's a big state. You're a little bit smaller than Alaska. And I can say that. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I grew up. My family's from Texas, so I do Oak Vlogs. I live in Alaska. I live in Alaska. I am a redneck transplant. My family's from Texas. I grew up going to El Paso, and my grandfather was a oil man. Not in the weighty sense. He ran oil rigs in Odessa. You're over in Dallas. Okay. And you probably don't. You know where Corsicana is? My grandfather, when he retired, moved up to Kearns. I just visited there last year. All right. Yeah, in Kearns. I had an uncle and aunt that lived up there for years. Spent a lot of time. That's a little. That's a little spot, man. It is nothing there. Um, so you just visited there last year. Awesome. Awesome. You went to Juneau. Juneau. Do you know where it is? That's always is most people don't know. So in Alaska, Juneau is our capital city, and it is the only capital city you cannot get there by car. You have to fly or you have to take a boat to get there. Crazy. It is the craziest thing in the world. You have to take a boat or a plane in order to get to Juneau. Craziest thing. So, how are you guys doing? Those of y'all that are coming in, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. A lot of times in the morning, I usually don't start with this live. I usually start with a webinar live. It's by ferry or flight. I visited on a cruise. Awesome, awesome. So here's the thing: if you're thinking about moving to Alaska, I don't just because you're on here doesn't mean that you are, but come in March. First of March is the Iditarod. It is cold. Snow's still on the ground. If you want to know what it's like, it's easy to fall in love with Alaska in the summertime, but you also have to love her in the wintertime uh, if you're gonna live here. So you definitely don't want to play around when it comes to that. You definitely don't want to play around when it comes to that, right? Awesome, awesome. Well, this morning, I am. had a great webinar that we did yesterday. Totally awesome. And this morning spent a little bit of time hanging out with God. And I do that every day. Not always as much time as I like. Today I also recorded video for my YouTube. Usually I'm doing shorts. Today I did a long form video that I'm going to post hopefully today. Trying to get an idea about when folks like to see videos. I've been posting for a while. I have two channels that I monitor here on YouTube. One is real estate, and the other is this one, which is Healthy Together and Feeling Great, that my wife and I do. I'm really pumped. We actually have a live. I need to post that. We have a live that we are doing tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Time. 9 p.m. Central Time, your time, Oak Vlogs, if you're still there, we will be going live. Bianca and Rhonda, our guests, my wife is going to delve into issues related to metabolic health, insulin resistance. It's going to be a lot of fun. If health is an issue, you're here. So you know by the title, Healthy Together and Feeling Great, you're stopping into my life. So we are about health and metabolic health in particularly. So if y'all get them to answer the question, just to throw it out there, when do you get the munchies? What are you feeling like when you get those munchies? Do you feel hungry? Are you angry? Are you lonely? Are you tired? Start to think about that just for a little. Be mindful. If you'll do that, if you just this is a tip for the day. Take that one tip for the day. Think about why you start those munchies. Here's what happens that we don't hear from our doctors. Every time that you eat, your blood sugar is going to go up. More for carbohydrates than anything else. Then comes proteins, and then comes fats. And so changing the order that you eat, all right, changes everything. So when we do that and the blood sugar spikes, our insulin increases. When that happens, we start to develop something called insulin resistance. And so that's the video that I'm going to be doing here in just a little bit, that I did today, that's going to get posted. So just a couple of things that I need to get onto my channel and post about our live tomorrow. So yeah, well, y'all are kind of thinking about that. What is it that gets you to start those cravings? To be mindful of that, because sometimes we eat because we're hungry, but sometimes we eat because we're angry. And sometimes I wonder if it's anxiety. Sometimes I wonder if it's because they're hungry, it's because of anxiety. Because I eat when I'm anxious. When I've got like a major project going on, I start to eat when I'm anxious. I really probably ought to change that. Let me do that. I think that probably is something. So if you get anxious, I will sit there, if I'm working on a contract or something, man, I will sit there with a big bowl of popcorn and I'm going to down that stuff, man. I'm going to down, and I have a healthy way to do popcorn. Super healthy. Popcorn be great when you do popcorn, it has fiber in it, but it also has carbs. But if you do it, and I will do it with olive oil and then salt it and then do nutritional yeast on it, so you're getting protein. All right, that is a great way to do it. I don't get the blood sugar spike that you normally get with that. So huge important way to think about that. So how many of y'all are dealing with issues when it comes to your overall health? How many of y'all may be struggling with something that you're really not sure? And here's the thing, this gets me fired up. I was talking about this yesterday because doctors aren't telling us this when it comes to our health. All right, this is really important. Here's what they're not telling you. Now, this is important. This is from the 30-Day Diabetes Cure. Great book if you're not familiar with it, but it applies to so many things when it comes to health, right? Type 2 diabetes is not a blood sugar disease. And I know that sounds so crazy. Type 2 diabetes is not a blood sugar disease. Bye. I have to go. Your only view. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You got to go. People are coming in all the time. I understand. Just make sure you subscribe. Just make sure you subscribe. When you're starting out and it's new, I totally get it. Totally get it. Good morning. How are you guys doing? I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. So here are the things the doctors are not telling you when it comes to your health. First of all, type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, insulin resistance, it's not a blood sugar issue. It is an insulin issue. Every time you're eating, your blood sugar spikes, your insulin increases. Blood sugar, insulin. When I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, right, it didn't have to do with the blood sugar. It had to do with the insulin. It had to do with right up here. How are you munching? When are those munchies coming? How are you eating? How are you approaching your day? What are you doing when it comes to that? How are you eating? Are you eating when you're hungry? Are you eating when you're angry or have anxiety? Are you eating when you're lonely? Are you eating when you're tired? And cutting out that snacks and eating for emotion is a huge part of this. And it's applying to so many things in our life. So learning what the doctors are not saying. Guys, I'm Coach Ken. Welcome in. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Where are y'all coming in from? Type in the comment below. Let me know. We've had Texas in here today. Had Israel in here yesterday. Had Sri Lanka in here over the weekend. Crazy. I love this. I love this platform. Lowering insulin, not blood glucose, is the only real solution to insulin resistance. Too much insulin, not overeating, is what makes us fat. All right, that's where our obesity comes in, and we don't hear enough about that. Obesity does not cause diabetes. There's one right there. All right, obesity does not cause diabetes. Getting healthy is what's important, not losing weight to get healthy. It's simply getting healthy. That is the most important thing to do. Okay, losing weight is a misguided goal. If there's one thing that when I talk with my clients, it's so hard to get through it, and it's so understanding that goal, and my doctor's saying that too, it's just such a misguided goal. Such a misguided goal. All right. And when I sit there and I talk about it, I can talk about it because I've been there, having been overweight, dealing with that. Let's see if I can get that up here on my screen, right? It is such a misguided goal. So it's good. When you're lonely, okay, so we got a lonely in there. This is such a misguided goal, all right? Losing weight is such a misguided goal. I mean, you look at it and you go, I felt like crap when I was overweight, but the truth and the reality of it is that needed to be fixed. That needed to be fixed. But I needed to get healthy. And getting healthy was learning that what we are being taught, what our doctors are explaining to us, is not what we need to hear. The doctors are focusing on more and more things like this. They're focusing on all of these and how to get you in and get you out, because that's what the insurance companies are doing. They're not addressing the emotions about what you're feeling. They're not looking at that. As a nutrition coach, that's one of the things that as a pastor, as a life coach, that's one of those things that for me is helping understand that we are whole people. Hey, parkour, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. We are whole people. We are whole people. And that food and our health has so much more to do with who we are and our whole body than we ever realize. So when our doctors sit here and are focusing on these things and addressing this in terms of, right, I know, man, I said, hey, man, good to see you. Thank you so much. We focus on this right here and all of these right here. It is not getting us where we need to be. And being on medications, anytime that's what you're doing, right? Anytime we're focusing on medications as the solution, and they're saying, oh, we're managing the condition. Managing isn't healing. What we want to do is get to healing. And the way to do that is to address what is the leading issue in our world today, which is insulin resistance, right? So if you're not familiar with this, let me pull this up real quick. So insulin resistance right here is the root cause of so many of the things that we've been struggling with today. All right. In our day and time, we are dealing with this right here. All right. So if you're coming in, for me, I'm a cancer survivor. I lost my first wife to colon cancer. And those are things that are real. I mean, and learning to deal with those and helping people, um, but it's something that I have to deal with every day, right? Parkour. Those of y'all in here. What about you? Is there one of these out to you? All right, you can look. I'll move out of the way here a little bit. I'll come down a little bit. Let's see if I can. All right, move my camera. Do any of these resonate with you? That are, maybe it's you or maybe it's someone that you know that is dealing with this. And if you look at that and go, what is it that you're dealing, what is it that maybe is a concern for you? And it can be a little bit. It doesn't have to be a big thing for this to be on our list of concerns. All right? It doesn't have to be a big thing. Skin tags. Man, those don't hurt, right? Those don't hurt. They're unsightly, right? they they make you feel uncomfortable. Um, I had them under my armpits. I had skin tags under my armpits. That was a pain in the ass. It was like, really? Normally you see them around your neck, right? Um, that's probably the biggest place that you see those. Um, you see discoloration of the skin. Um, those don't necessarily hurt. Maybe you're dealing with something like diabetes. Yeah, that's a big one. Um, but there's other things. Like I said, it could be things, fatty liver disease. All right, inflammation. If you're dealing with arthritis, I was diagnosed with arthritis when I was 9 years old, child's rheumatoid arthritis. And my doctors didn't give me anything other than, hey, you might outgrow this. When I started to deal with reversing insulin resistance, that was the game changer. When I started to address that as a change in my life, and understanding that it wasn't blood sugar that was the problem. It wasn't all of this, when they talked about inflammation, what was the cause of the inflammation was so much more complicated. And when they didn't address these things right here. When do you get the munchies? The idea of metabolic syndrome, think about what that is. We're talking about four things that are high, one things that are low. So we've got high weight, large waist circumference, all right? That's one sign of it. High blood pressure, high blood sugar, high LDL, and low HDL. Metabolic syndrome. What is metabolic syndrome? Metabolism. What is metabolism? Metabolic. It has everything to do with what we eat and drink. Here's the crazy part about it is when we look at this, the doctors and everybody, we're not talking about the modern food environment. All right, what's going on in our bodies right here, the modern diet dilemma that we have. That is huge. We eat all damn day long, and we eat for all these reasons right here. So I asked the question because that's such a huge important part of it. As a nutrition coach, right? We do this and we don't realize that what's happening is the foods that we're eating, right? This whole journey right here, we keep eating all day, our blood sugar spikes and our insulin increases. Blood sugar, insulin. I always say it's like a boxing match with your body. Your pancreas, every time you're consuming, blood sugar spikes, insulin increases. And it's just bam, 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 bam. Blood sugar, insulin, blood sugar, insulin, blood sugar, insulin. Totally screws up everything with your metabolism. I like most lunch. Hey, and when we do time-based eating is a great simple tool that we can use to help with that. Lunch is a great thing. I usually eat lunch, or I will eat more like I call it. I joke around, call it dinner. Between lunch and dinner, if I'm doing a one meal a day, I call it dinner. if if I'm doing 2 meals a day, I'm gonna typically have lunch and I have dinner. I usually like to eat 18 and 6, so I skip breakfast. Now that may be crazy. How many of y'all have done intermittent fasting? If you've done intermittent fasting, if you type yes in the comment, let me know. I'm sitting here. I've got a post. We're going to be going live tomorrow. I need to get this up before I forget about it. So yeah, we're going to have We've got a guest on. Dr. G is going to be on. So if you are interested, make sure that you check this out. Yeah, there we go. Live. This is going to go up. So Dr. G is going to be on here with me. We're going to do it's what we call science and the stories, learning from people about health, what they did to. We, my phone's going off. I always forget to do silent on here. Here we go. So, all right. We're gonna do that. All right. So, hey, that's all right, Parkour. Thank you so much. I appreciate Parkour God. Thank you for being here. It's always good to see you. I appreciate your support. You're awesome, man. I really appreciate you. I hope you have an awesome day. Go get the day, make it golden. Go be excellent to people today. Thank you. All right. So what do we got going on? So yeah, so 6 p.m. Alaska time, 9 p.m. Central time is when we'll be on. So that'll 10 o'clock. And I'm really excited. I got something we've been working on. Hey man, just make sure this is going to be saved. I've got a long form video that I'm doing. It actually should be published either today or tomorrow, I think. I might do it Friday. I'm trying to get a good idea. But yeah, come back tomorrow night if you're available. Like I said, I'm posted on there, so if you get a reminder, you subscribed. We'll be going live on Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Time here in the States. So, those of y'all that might be jumping in and watching this that are from somewhere else, all right. We're doing science and stories. So Dr. G is going to be tackling the science. And we've got two great guests on here which have great stories that we're going to delve into this. So I don't know. I understand. Science and stories. I appreciate you. My friend. You've been faithful. Hello from Israel. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Oh, I got so many things going up. How are things in Israel today? How's the weather today? We are cloudy and cold today here in Alaska. So yeah, so as I was saying, I'm posting right now that my wife and I we've got our science and stories coming up this tomorrow. So definitely, if you wanna, if you can be there, be a part of it. So I thought you were leaving, parkour guy. What are you doing? um, I know this morning I'm gonna have to go take out the trash too. There we go. All right, so we got it up there live. See you, buddy. Have a good one. I hope you have an awesome one. All right, so yeah, we're gonna be live tomorrow. The weather is good, but we are on high alert for attacks. Oh, I am so sorry. Do you mind if I pray for you, Israel? P5. Do you mind if I pray for you today? God, I'm just want to do that. Like I said, I interrupt things just because as a pastor, that's just something. God, I just want to pray for all those in harm's way, and especially for this new friend of mine over in Israel. I just pray that you would surround her, protect her, comfort her, give her strength and attentiveness, and just pray for all that are in a period of threat and are struggling in that high alert. God, I just pray for definitely the anxiety levels that are there, that you bring comfort and peace this day. We ask these things in your holy and precious name. Amen. So, yeah, I hate to hear that. And if there's one thing that will definitely definitely lead to why we would eat would certainly be talk about anxiety. I'm going to change my poll. If you, when you get those munchies, right? Here's the thing, that is disrupting our cortisol level. It's disrupting our health when we are not addressing those things. That's a huge part of it. And in our modern diet dilemma, we are taught to eat all this time, and it is making such a huge difference on our lives, and it is impacting us that we're dealing with these health conditions. And even if you are somebody that is feeling healthy, if you are at a place, you might be skinny fat. That's one of the things, that you have visceral fat that's underneath your body, right? That's built up in there. And you look at it, like I said, I had somebody the other day who said, I'm young, I eat crap, I'm not overweight. Um, well, I appreciate you coming in, Israel, and you are absolutely, you are so very welcome. I know you got to return to duty, but I thank you for stopping in. I appreciate that, and I pray for you and your family as well on this day. So, here's the thing. So we want to look and we want to address this right here. And how do we do it? We've got this huge problem. All right. This is a huge dilemma. This modern diet dilemma is unaliving so many people. Right. And not understanding it is a huge problem. So what do we do? Well, there is a simple solution, and it is a simple solution that fits right in our body. It fits right with what we need to do. And I'm going to pull this one up right now. It is the simplest thing that we can do. The solution is to learn to eat correctly. What we want to do with a little bit of intermittent fasting and including that fiber that's been removed from our diet, we're going to get in a habit of eating in a regular pattern that is not eating all day. All right, we're going to knock out the snacks. We're going to knock out eating all day long. The things that are we want to knock out those things in bags and boxes and bottles with barcodes. All right, all that is that processed food. All that is that crap that has been stripped from our diet. And so what we want to do is to address right this intermittent fasting, because this is what's happening when we're eating all the time. These are those spikes that we get. All right, that is our blood sugar spiking. That red line is our insulin. What we want to do is get right here. That's where we want to get to, and that's what the protocol does. Doing something so simple, and that simple protocol is yerba mate concentrated tea and a fiber matrix. Those two things right in the provider's digital reference. All right, so if you go on and you look at people who are going to talk crap about this, that don't pay any attention to it, you don't get here if you don't have the science to back that up. To sit there and say the bull crap that is on here so many times. I watched through a whole bunch of people talking shiz about this as if they know what they're talking about. They've never done it, they've not experienced it, they haven't tried it. They don't understand that everything in here, you don't have to do this, and I'm not saying that you do. But these two products, taken on a regular basis, consistently, will show results that will impact your health long-term metabolically to improve everything that you do. The tea is yerba mate. Yerba mate, the Unimate, is a concentrated form of the yerba mate tea. All right, we have our own hand-picked farms that do this. All right, down in South America, that goes through a concentrated process. You get chlorogenic acid, you get the polyphenols, you get the antioxidants, and what this is going to do, it helps to bring down food cravings. All right, that we have. Hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. So the yerba mate, I drink this. What I'm drinking right now. All right, I drink this every single day. Every single day I'm drinking this. At 54 years old, this has been the biggest game changer for my health. At 54 years old, I reversed my diabetes. Right, that's this picture back here that I talk about right here. I reversed my diabetes. I go back and find this one here. So this was me and Dr. G. Listen to your wife. It could save your life. All right, she was the one that got me started here. She was the one that got me into this because she was concerned about me. She started doing the tea and the fiber. It changed our lives, right? I drink this every single day for my blood pressure, unmedicated now, completely off of the medications that my doctor had put me on. Not concerned about that anymore. All right, huge difference. I take this and I sip on it through the course of the day. This is an herbal tea, but it's a concentrated form. If you look at any of the guidelines for doing intermittent fasting, we'll talk about a little bit of coffee, a little bit of herbal tea. Right here is concentrated. So unlike just the little bit that you get, this stimulates your GLP-1 by 60 to 70%. So it's no contraindications with other medications you might be on. That it's in the provider's digital reference. So you take on this, sip on this, those food cravings right here, those disappear. We lose those food cravings as we go along, right? Sipping on the tea. Then the second thing we do is we make sure to have fiber. This falls right in line with meal order eating, meal sequencing. Fiber, fats, and proteins, 30, 60, 90, 30 grams of fiber, 60 grams of fats, and 90 grams of protein is how we want to eat to control those blood sugar levels. When we start to do that, we change everything about our health. That's what the product does. That's what this fiber matrix, the balance does, provides that fiber that you need before every single meal. When we do that, we're bringing down and controlling the blood glucose. This has been studied at the Cleveland Clinic. We have the studies there to back that up. It's been studied at Stanford. It's been studied at the University of Sydney, home of the glycemic index. That is the change for me, was right here to right here. That has been the game changer for me. And if you're interested and you want to know more, this is how to find out more information. Let's see if I can get this up there. There we go. So this is how to find out about the product. Maybe you want to message me. You've got questions about this as I've talked about it. What we do is there's two aspects to this. Meal-based or meal sequencing, fiber, fats, and proteins. How you break a fast is important as fasting, and doing a little bit of intermittent fasting. 2 meals a day, no snacking. What we do is 8 o'clock, you stop eating at night. This is the simplest way. If you've never intermittent fasted, just listen to me. Just listen. This is the cheat code, and you want to make this the easiest possible. First thing you're going to do, cut out snacks. Second thing you're going to do is go to eat fasting 12 hours a day. Stop eating at 8 o'clock. Don't eat again until 8 o'clock the next day. No snacking. That's step 2. Intermittent fasting, as easy as it can get. The next thing we want to do is extend that fast. And so we delay when we have breakfast. Ideally, you're not going to eat breakfast till about 10, 11, or 12 o'clock. At 16 hours, what we'd like to do is not eat for 16 hours and then eat 2 times within an 8-hour window to get the benefits of fasting. If you would do that right there, everything related to that insulin resistance will start to make a huge difference. And when you do the protocol, when you start to do the balance and the Unimate, it will change everything about your life. That is how it works. And it's as simple as this. You take the tea, you put it into a bottle of water, and you sip on it. Before your biggest meal, in about 6 to 8 ounces of water, cold water, you mix the fiber, you put it in here, it gels, and you drink it. That's all you got to do. And that has been the biggest game changer. All right, if you'd like to know more, right here, reach out to me. You can text me, you can call me. That's my WhatsApp number. You can go to the website right here. KenHagler.com takes you to my link tree, and that will give you an opportunity to make an order. All right, and you can learn more about it. You can get on our YouTube channel, which you're on right now. Make sure you subscribe. You can jump on here. That will also take you over to that link tree, which will get you to our Facebook page, our website, healthyalaska.live, and do #book, and you can get on our email list. And that way you stay up to date on everything. Just like we're doing a live this week. All right. This week we got a live coming up. Let's see if I can get this. I wonder what will happen if I do this. I haven't done this one. This is it, I think, right here. What happens if there it is. Whoa, we're going to go live. It's a little bit big. So, yep, there's Dr. G, Bianca. We got Rhonda as guests, and myself will be hosting right here on Thursday. We're going to be live right here. All right. So, if you're interested, make sure that you subscribe. All right. This is our Science and Stories Live. Next week on Wednesday, we're adding a new one that is going to be all about metabolic health, Dr. G, and we're going to have medical professionals come on here. It is going to be an awesome show. I am so pumped getting ready for this. Lining up doctors, the nurses, the dietitians, the nutritionists, everybody to come on here, and we're going to be doing that every single Wednesday, and it's going to be posted. So a lot of great information. So if you are trying to get on the path to health, it's not a bunch of gimmicks, because that is not what we do. It's not a gimmick crap here. This is about real questions. How are you eating? How are you exercising? What are your extras, your supplements, and who are you encouraging? Who do you care about that you want to help get healthy? That's why we do what we do. That's why I do what I do as a health coach. I mean, when you're coming on here, and I don't know where you're coming in from. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Would love to hear where you're coming in from. What do you want when it comes to your health? What are you hoping for when it comes to your health? Because it can be a complete game changer. All right. Thanks, guys, for being here. I'm going to jump off right now. I'm going to have to take the trash out. I got to watch my time today. I don't want to lose when the trash truck comes around. Y'all go get the day. Make it golden. We'll see you back around on the flip side.